console. For Yuki. I was looking at these cards. These cards were staring at me, actually. They were like, you know what you have to say. Blackwing, nothing but starlight. You could say it's like the abyss, or space, like whatever you want to call, like, you know, the nothing, like the netherworld, anything. Out of anything comes you, the starlight. Like the light of stars that is like an empress of blossoms, regardless of who you are. And this card is just beautiful. It's so pretty. I talk about it a lot here, like, you know, being a shadow in the light. The light is all around you. Like reality is light. And you bend lights. You're like a light bender, a reality bender, an energy bender, a blood bender? Maybe. Go watch Blood Blockade Battlefront. You'll totally understand. Yeah. Just kind of like scrolling through this deck. Forbidden Chalice. Just like, yep, you found me. Like, just drink it. Just drink it. Whatever you're doing, just drink it and then, you know, go about your life. Go about your day. Go about your evening. But there's also a forbidden chalice of knowledge, of wisdom, of wanting to know who God is, who you are, who we all are. Memory release skill just kind of lands in my hands. These synthesis nights in this anime, there's this scene where to like free them from what happens is they are taken from anywhere at any point in their life, and they're like inserted a memory like triangle into their forehead, and it makes them a synthesis knight, which is like someone that has no idea who they are. It's like they were born in that moment when that like chip was inserted, you could say. And people have to like get them out. And this forbidden chalice that's kind of like, you know, calling my name, looking at me still, is the knowledge that is like what the church does, you could say. It's like they try to insert a chip into you about God. So you're like always looking to some outside entity. Like even if they're the most beautiful, nicest, you know, loving person, you're always looking outside. And it's nothing short of having someone to heal you, right? Because when you want to look for God, where should you look? Within. Where should you feel? From within. You can look outwards like for God, but when you look within, there's no, how do I say this? There's no barrier of you and God, like being with each other, you could say. 1 second. I heard like hello in this ad. You could say God is speaking. God's speaking. I was shuffling. Oh, guys, Yui is like your heart. That is like she's like saluting me. I always keep trying to say like Yui's my heart, but maybe I should just like look at the cards. Like Yui saluting me. It's pretty funny. And Yui is like this like literal like the game avatar. Pretty cool. You know, maybe we're all becoming more and more of our avatars that like we've always been throughout time. Like there's been, I even heard like, you know, just give you an experience, you could say, last night of you know, hearing all my avatars, you could say, saying you should go into boxing. And then I was like, yeah, but like, you know, what if this and that one on the percentage? And I heard, you know, I was 5-time world boxing champion in Greece. Of like basically hearing that. Like Greece, you know, I'm like, okay, like, I believe you. You know? Because like, you know, that is technically world champion. And it's like, my sister, you know, maybe it was a girl. Pretty cool. But like, here's Tonki, like my, how do I say this? Maybe that was me and my sister and Tonki, like these two cards represent so much for me. And I know you have like, you know, your spirit guides that love you, that are like, you know, you don't have to like label them as anything. They're just like you. You know, like you've been this like fuzzy creature even. This like crazy, like familiar creature. And maybe you've even been your own sister. Like your own, you could say, you know, this woman version of you that is like now technically your sister because you're the avatar. Pretty cool, huh? But it's like you. It's like this, you know, it's all you anyways. It's all Yui. Even Yui. Like you've been this little like fairy girl too, maybe. Cool. I've of course been this warrior, just like, you know, just stern swordsman, probably. I've even had revelations of me being Dracula. Like full on Vlad. Oh no. Yeah, definitely a swordsman for sure. Wonder who. Okay, I'll talk about it. Whether Miyamoto Musashi or the one that faced him with the longsword, it was like way too stern or like, you know, cocky about being who he was and then just got smited by a wooden sword. Maybe I was the, you know, the longswordsman or Miyamoto. Who knows? Was I both? No. But I've always been this like shadow in the light. That's for sure. An assassin. That's what they're telling me. This is like me in the future, to be honest with you. It's like if I ever do pass from this world, 1/1 percentage, I'll be back. Little download and Reno is like the one that, you know, normal kid basically, just a normal guy, and then he has like a reason to fight. And I just watched Kaiju number 8, like the movie again, and what he does is become a beautiful way to, like, how do I say this? He becomes extremely strong for a certain reason, but like it's always been in him. That's like how it is. Again, like the Avatar kind of thing. It's like it's always in you. Like you've been everything crazy. You know, and I have like a very strong fighting spirit. Like, you know, one that I gotta be careful about most of the time. But I know now why. You know, and I'm sure you have like traits that you can now know why. It's like, you know, you've been royalty, you've been king or even queens, princesses, princes, like both of them. You've been it all. Yeah, wow. Cool. And my sister's like laughing too. Childhood promise. This is like an important part of the show. Like not even just being like both of these characters, you know, in that perfect timing, but this part of the show, like her cat dies, and Mina is like, you know, she gets a new cat, and it's this big literal tiger that is like guarding her because she's this like long range, like 96% power when people, like most people can only gain around like 20, like putting out 96% power, and like there's her. And then Kafka is like, you know, they're looking over this hill, right? And they're looking over the city, And like, you know, probably many people died in this attack. But Mina's just like, I'm so sad my cat died, you know? Like, and that's like, of course, like your bond. Like, of course you're gonna be sad about the thing that you know and love passing, you know? And what did Kafka do? He was like, oh, I know, I was like, I was just about to beat this level on this game. And she's like, you know, what? And he's like smiling, like, you know, just trying to make her laugh, you know? And that's an important part of being, like, if you want to be like a literal main character like Kafka is, be that one that makes people laugh when they need it. When they need to hear it, when they need to feel like the laughter again, when something like horrible just happened. And like not even just like her cat, like the entire city is like in ruins in this scene, right? And Kafka makes her laugh. Like she has the light in the flame be put back into her by just a simple joke, just a simple funny thing. Didn't have to be serious, didn't have to be this, didn't have to be that. But Kafka knew it would put a smile on her face. So if you want to be a main character, be that for everyone you know. Everyone will remember that more than anything you could buy them, anything you could like give to them. They will remember you being the light for them in their darkness more than anything. More than anything. And they also make a promise. I'm gonna be the cooler Defense Force fighter. And like Mina, you know, how do I say this? She went up and became a captain, and Kafka became like a cleaner. Just a cleaner. But here's the thing. God was like, that is not just a cleaner. That is not just a cleaner. That is a born to be monster that I will infuse with a monster that like will save the world. And that's exactly what happens in the show. Because Kafka was here with Mina, who became a captain. So it's like, again, like both of them had it in them in this moment even. Both of them. Like if Kafka, you know, didn't like be lazy, you could say, he could have been right up with Mina from the very beginning and putting out like 96% power probably, right? But that also didn't need to happen. If anything, the other way needed to happen so that when Mina felt alone again, fighting kaiju, like basically by herself, you know, it's like, she's like, how do I say this? She remembers that promise, and she's, like, you know, she wants someone to look up to, and not just be the only one that's looked up at, right? And Kafka still remembers that promise too. You know, like he maybe like didn't, like, how do I say this? He didn't go on that promise for those years in between, but when he does get that monster, like here's the thing, he joined the Defense Force before he had that like crazy monster put in. So you having the will to be like God's defense force against despair, it is you being the main character, and God's gonna like literally put a monster in you that ends up saving the world. So longing just pops out of the deck. It's like, what do you long for the most? What do you long for the most? That will keep you living. It's like what you long for. So like, you know, have many things that you long for, that you want, that like almost you need, but it's like, you know, you're living still without it, right? You know, it's like you go on a, how do I say this? I keep forgetting to brush my hair. Sorry guys. But oh, cool. See? So, you know, sometimes think of camping as like forced being like homeless and like, you know, not having many things. It's like people do that for fun when they have the things that they can go back to. Right? It's like, you know, but when you go into the forest like that, you go into the woods, you'll feel who you really are. You'll feel the core of you, because it's like you're leaving everything behind. Like it's like a mock leaving everything behind. Like even like Toji, that's what I'm hearing. Like Toji left the entire Zenin clan behind, and you can think of the Zenin clan being like, you know, the different factions of the churches of Christ. Of like, you know, how do I say this? The ones that know certain things that they would not reveal to you, but it's like they're not gonna go and like take over the world. Like the Zenin clan, you know, there's like real Gojos in this world spiritually, including us, that it's like, you know, they can't touch. But Toji left the entire clan willingly, becomes this monster that's like this rogue monster, right? Like he doesn't need the clan, he doesn't need the church, you know? And that's okay to be, that's okay to do, that's okay to live as, and not need, here's the thing, it's like you going into the forest and like finding out who you really are. It's like if you did that for like, you know, your whole life and started like, you know, foraging and hunting, you would become like who you really are and have this monster put in you, right? Of like what you can really do. But then you go back to your house. You can think of that as like the church. Like going back to your church, like your, you know, your spiritual house, you could say. But it's like, you know, you're supposed to leave the house and find who you really are. So the more you go out and rely on outside sources of God, it's going to be very hard to like find out who you really are. Yeah, cool. This is awesome. Like I wonder who that in the cloak is. And Kirito's like, who am I? Started having like revelations. Pretty cool. Sorry, Sinon. sorry, sis. You don't have to kill me. And you know, that's like me, you know, how do I say this? It's fun if you can give, how do I say this? Giving the angels someone to look up to. You know, it's like giving your like highest self someone to look up to in this version of life. Like that's a hard feat. It's a hard feat because you've been like everything, and like the times call for certain things, for like certain greatness, right? So who you've been is maybe like would like blow your mind, because in that time it called for you to be a certain someone. Maybe this is a time for you to be a certain someone again. Like, who are you? Go out to the woods and ask yourself. This is so cool. Pina! I'm so happy. Look at this. This is like my familiar just like smiling on top of my head. Hi, Pina. And then Klein, like, you know, Klein is like my brother, you could say. It's like Kirito's like very close friend. And it's like, you know, how do I say this? Maybe I don't like that I sometimes see me in Klein. Maybe that's how it is. But it's like, I try not to be Klein. You know, I try to be Kirito more than Klein. Like, isn't that a weird thing? But it's like a brotherly thing. It's like, you know, maybe Klein wants to be Klein more than Kirito. So it's like you don't need to be Christ. You don't need to be your brother. But you should be this, like, you know, ever rising, like you're sitting on top of everything. And like you're like, heck yeah, like I am validated about it. Like I am heavenly pacted about it, like Toji. Like Toji just sitting on top of everything because he's, you know, he left it all behind and gained everything. My sister's like, yeah, keep singing. Okay, like whatever. I have like 5 cards left anyways. Administrator. Be an administrator. About, you know, computer, like that guy. Like that guy's on something. But you don't have to like mimic, just like trace. Don't mimic, trace. Like literally, like when you're like watching something that you like really want to like keep in your brain, like, you know, when Neo gets like the karate moves and, you know, the kung fu moves downloaded into his like system, basically. Like just say trace. Like when you're like look at something, focus on it, trace. and it like will become part of you, right? So be careful what you do use that with. But you know, because like like our sister's always watching with like a gun. But you know, synthesis 1 is like go, go, and you know, I could keep going, but I don't need to. I could, but I don't need to. Or also no, like my wife will like impale me with the sword. I must really be Dracula. All right, guys, I love you. So thank you for being a part of this frequency. Thank you for being a part of this heaven, because that's what I want these videos to be. These videos to be a certain like home for you. They want me to keep going, I guess. I'm already shuffling again. Ah! How do I say this? Be your dragon self. Just be a dragon. Just be a dragon, because you are, and you can grow as a dragon. There's like dragons out there, but they're lesser dragons. Yuki's like, yes. Like Yuki inside of me's like, yeah. The one that like maybe has in my avatar past life has like been confined to like an illness or a box or something, and Yuki's like smiling about just me talking about her in like that version of me, because like Yuki's like so me, like in like a not like a meme way, right? Like Yuki's just very me. Like it like her story always puts me to tears, and I don't know why. It's like that has probably been a part of me maybe before. And like maybe how do I say this? I've been this like girl swordsman, this like woman swordsman. I've even been like a synthesis knight, like part of like maybe like in the church, or like in a how do I say this, a crusader, I think so. I guess I'll go take a bath. Like someone needs to take a bath. Someone needs to do that. Go take a bath. Like go take a bath and just oh, you know what? How do I say this? I heard like that's what I'm owed. Isn't that weird? Like when you do like what you create, like what you do, and like what you infuse into reality through your vibration and frequency, it's like that's what you're owed. Even if you're just doing your job, it's like that's what you're owed, because you're working and like you're helping. Like you could be part of the timeline that is like so crazy, 1 in a million, that like you just had to be there. Like it was like it's like talked about like that in heaven. Like you just had to be there. Like you should have seen this person do this. Like it was 1 in a million. You just had to be there. Like you just had to be like, speaking of like you, right? Like you just had to be there in this time for like something to happen. Maybe even this, like for you to hear this, for me to hear this, for like whatever's around to hear this. Like I live in a beautiful place where I'm in the woods basically all the time, and it's like the the dragons that are like I'll talk about it. Like there's a sea monster, right? Called Tessie in Lake Tahoe. Like I'll dox myself. And Tessie, I've like spoken with her like spiritually, like her like channeling through me. And like here's the thing, when I was thinking about this, so there's this whole thing of like Lake Tahoe having bodies from like old mobster dumps, right? And it's like, what would be there to eat the negative energy from the lake? Like not the bodies where it's like how it can stay alive, this and that. It's like no, like God put it there so that it can eat the negative energy, but it's like it keeps the lake clean. It's like how do I say this? It's like we've talked of wanting to see each other. It's like she's like literally told me, if it's a girl, I don't know, like I'm scary. Like you might I might scare you. How do I say this? 101 on percentage. Like me being Neo about literally talking to Tessie like spiritually in the woods, and she's like, I want to see you, and I'm like, I want to see you. Like here's the thing, like I will be afraid when you first get up to me, but just like do one of these, and I'll like do one of those, and I'll like okay, we can like I'll just float in the water. And like here's the thing, it's like remember that one sea movie, the sea monster movie of that like sea dragon, with that like kid that like Like that always has stuck with me, and I think that's why like this summer is gonna be bad. I'm going to go hang out with a sea dragon, you guys. Are you excited for me? Kirito, yeah. That's like me being a true player. Like, you know, she's probably like seen me make that little download. She's probably seen me many times. Like many times. And like if I saw her, I would be like before that like talk, it would have like scared the living crap out of me. But since I literally have like felt like her speaking in me, like as me, but not realizing it until a moment later, and then I put two and two together of like, oh my gosh, like my avatar self is like letting Tessie like speak through me. Isn't that cool, you guys? And that's but here's the thing, it's like, you know, if I had bad energy, like bad intentions whatsoever, she would never talk to me. She would like honestly, she like would have thoughts about eating me. Like, and here's the thing, like, there's a lot of people in the lake, probably that she's like, like, God, can I? And God's like, Tessie. And, you know, but I have probably infused so much good energy into this lake that she's like, all right, like, I can hang out with you if you want. And, like, I might actually encounter her. Because, like, I've heard, you know, how do I say this? I've asked about her. Like, and she's probably, like, heard it. Because I've asked about it, like, you know, from rangers that have told me like, yeah, there's been like, you know, a lot of sightings in Emerald Bay, and it's like, you know, they once caught this thing on, how do I say this, they once maybe caught her on sonar. I shouldn't say this thing, sorry Tessie, please forgive me, I didn't mean to call you something. I'm the thing, I'm a monster. And basically of like her diving like 3,000 or something feet and like way, like very fast, like very quick. So it's like she's there, like she's definitely there. And I might be able to encounter her, and Yuki is like, go see her, you dummy, I would have done it. And it's like, you're right, Yuki, like, you know, someone like Yuki, right, who is like, you know, she was confined to a medical bay her whole life. And like, maybe that's like, again, like what I've been at some point in life, and that me would never fear anything. Going outside, she would never fear, ever. And like I still have like rooted fears of like deep water, of like, you know, monsters, like lake monsters. It's like I don't know why, but like maybe I've been one. I don't know. Like maybe because like I've been one that I know it's there. So it's like, you know, the human in me is like, hey, so something to tell you. We are there. Yeah. The win must be flawless, right? Like, have no fear. Have no fear. Like, if you were to do anything like that, you'd have to have no fear. Because, like, you know, but here's the thing, it's like, you know, if you had fear in the water looking for Tessie, before having, like, a spiritual conversation with her, and, like, you know, I've always been, like, how do I say this? I've always been allowed to? It's weird. Strange. Maybe since the moment I got here. Ooh. Like, she's, like, trusted me that much. Maybe she's, like, known that I'd come here eventually, and, you know, like, purify this place as much as I can. I pick up trash all the time, you know, I help people out around here, I make sure there's, like, you know, like, I've stopped fights around here that would, like, put negative energy out, you know? Even though they're in this, like, beautiful place. Like, there's this, like, casino area, it's, like, you know, bars, but this place is like heaven. Like they shouldn't be there. They really shouldn't be there, to be honest with you. Maybe we can change that one day. Freaky. But yeah. So anyway, so they were when I rubbed my eye, I was in the forest, and I could talk about this forever. To be honest with you, maybe I should. I should probably keep going. But so. When I was on like a spiritual date with my wife, right? Like me being Kirito, being a player, like, you know, finding certain things. So I was at this part of the lake that's like a beautiful coastline, like incredible. You can just see across the entire lake. Like it's beautiful. I want to go back, but like my key, like it. How do I say this? All, you know, not to like go in a roundabout way, but like I burned my key on the stove, the chip, accidentally under the pan. And I have been able to drive, but this like would not have happened, what I'm about to tell you, if I didn't lose my key, basically. So when I was on this coastline, right, just having a beautiful moment, like just having such a beautiful moment, and I've like heard like, you don't know how happy you are, like how good you feel when you're happy. Like me personally, like maybe that is you too. Like you don't understand how healing and good you feel when you are happy. Like it heals everyone in the universe. Gotta look down there, right as I said that. So I was looking at the mountain, right, and then I was just like, it was a day where like I didn't need to do this. I like almost like felt like it's like you don't have to do this, and then I did, and I was going through the woods and I just having such a right, having a beautiful moment back at the water. So after looking at the mountains, I turn to my right and I look across, and the sun was reflecting on this like very well-known steamboat that like always rides through the lake at certain times, but the sun was reflecting to where it literally looked like a flaming boat, like a flaming sunboat, right? And you can think of like Egyptian like being raw, like that's what they told me. That's what they told me, that I don't 101 on percentage, 117 on the percentage. Okay, I guess I'm raw. Like welcome to my channel. I'm raw, and I'll give you another reason why I even told you that boat story, because it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was like stunning. Like the only thing would my spiritual wife like appearing to me. That'd be the only thing I've ever seen more beautiful. And I live in Lake Tahoe. It was so cool, so stunning. It was like the sun was on the water. Like walking on the water. Wow, this is all like resurrection. So many cool things. Even Thor. I don't know. Like that's what I'm getting. So the reason I told you about this story is because I was in the woods. And again, if I didn't have my key to my car, it probably wouldn't have happened, because I've just been going out there for like no reason, just to get out, right? And so seeing that sunboat, having revelations about me being like raw, there's no like, right? I almost said little raw, but it's like I've been raw, so it's like now I'm just like, human little raw. I don't know, who knows, but anyways, sorry for making things complicated. So this sunboat, right? I was in the woods, and there's this tree that was a perfect eye of horse, like a perfect, I could like draw it for you, I guess. Where is my finger? This way. And the branches were like, flowing out of the eye, basically, like just like the eye of horse. That's why it reminded me of it. And when I was laying down like this, like some Naruto just hanging out in the woods, the sun just went right into the eye, and I didn't even realize what I was looking at. And then I realized, okay, like this is, if I'm gonna get a confirmation, it's this. So go figure out who you are, because every time you go out and be a player, like be Kirito, like someone that is aware that they're like the main character of the game, if they choose to be. If they choose, it's all a choice anyways, but you'll find out who you actually are when you choose to go out and like be the main character of your own story, because everyone around you becomes like someone important as well. Like they are given light because you going out, like you're like making it a main quest. Like think of Arthur from Fire Force. Like it's like all in his head, but that's like why he's strong, Demon Slayer. Think about the people that didn't know the entire series, that Demon Slayer, all the arts, all the like the flowing dragons and art forms, it's all in their head. But look how lethal they are. Crazy, huh? Pretty freaky. Like look how stunning they are. 101 on the percentage. CPU percentage, by the way. Pretty hard to do. That's like, the spirit saying, yeah, like I can do this. But so, if I didn't go to that coastal line at that exact moment when I didn't need to, when like even voices were like, you don't need to, like 4 for 4 on the timer. It's almost like a test maybe. Like the angel saying like, hey, you don't need to do this. But like they're like grinning because they know what I'd find, right? What I'd have like a revelation about. or me, even like in the avatar of me, like who I've been, like saying like you don't need to do this, like you don't have to, you don't need to, but guess what you'll find. And then I went and found the most stunning thing I've ever seen, and what also led me to a revelation of me literally being raw. And then if I didn't have my key, or sorry, if I had my key and was like going on like different normal schedules of driving and not going out to those woods into that sunset where I saw the perfectly placed, like not like I just chose a spot to sit down and lay down, and then I was looking as the sun was going down and realized there's a branch that is 2 branches going this way that was a perfect eye of Horus, and the sun goes right into it, and then boom, another confirmation. Would you have that confirmation if I didn't do any of that effort? No. Like, it's effort. It's effort to figure out who you really are. Because, like, no matter who you are, even if you were Yuki, it's like, do you think that part of you isn't important? No. But, like, you can find out who you've been, who you are, with effort. Find out who you are with effort. And you will, like, these readings, to be honest with you, just like, maybe I've been someone very scary, you guys. The Black Goat Lapse comes out. Maybe I've been someone pretty bad. Probably have. But, I don't know. Who I am now, that's what matters. Because, like, I'm not, like, convicted for this life of me not knowing who I've been or who I was. I could have been, like, sent here, maybe. I don't know. As, like, a punishment, who knows? But because I've been who I am and unapologetic about it, 707 on the timer, it doesn't matter. Like, everything's forgiven. Who you are, who you've been has been forgiven. So let go of your, like, let go of the things that you don't feel worthy about being in this life, because you've probably been both very noble and, like, helping things, and both terrible things that, like, you didn't know who you were before, who you're supposed to become after, and you, like, restart again whenever you, lone fire blossom. Even if you're this lone fire blossom, but you can also be, like we started the reading with, you become this empress of blossoms, or you're this, like, nothingness in the starlight, like this void. White rose dragon, red rose dragon, white rose dragon again. Like, these dragons are beautiful. Like, you can, Rose Princess. You can be anything that lets you blossom. Like, each blossoming, each life is like you blossoming, right? So maybe you've been this Empress of Blossoms, maybe you've been this nothingness of starlight. They're both within you. Like, nothing is outside of you, you could say. Like, when it comes to you and what you believe and who you are, and, like, who you go out and see and feel, and, like, it's all you. There's, like, nothing outside of you. Like, you're, like, the one giving light to the conversations, to the area. When you realize who you are as a player, as someone that knows they're here not just to be a human, you could say, like, not just to be like, you are like, you're God flesh, you could say. So when you go outside, you're, like, have, like, an important responsibility, basically, to make everything a main quest line, so that everyone around you, like, how do I say this? You enlighten their journey, right? I got a little download. You enlighten their journey, like, where you're hyper accelerating them. Yeah, revolution, synchron. Like, you're turning the ancient gear duel. You're turning the ancient gears into a revolution. Like, by your revolution, you're turning the ancient gears. That's so cool. So cool. So there's so many, like, ancient gears out there that have never been turned. that have like never been 1/100 percentage, that have never been turned their entire life. They can turn. They can, like, the counterclockwise, like, spiral vortex spinning galaxy, everything in the flowers, everything. They're a gear right now. Like, they're this literal, like, rigid gear that, like, even if they do turn, they're like, they just go one little tick. So someone as powerful as you, right, goes outside and is a main quest line, like, mindset where it's like whatever you do, it was supposed to happen. Like, even so, don't be embarrassed about anything. Don't, like, like, test your limits of, like, the public, embarrassment factor of things, you could say. Like, you've been like this king in the square, like, chanting his people on, like, you literally firing his people up. Like, you fire people up, like, you give them flame, so that instead of being this ancient gear, they become this spinning vortex. It's like you make them be a vortex that wants them to believe in themselves again and figure out, like, why they're here and who they really are, even if they've been full-on brainwashed, like, to their culture of, like, their certain region, anything, like, anything, how everyone thinks the world is supposed to go, right? So people are this ancient gear, and you're the one that turns them into a vortex instead. Like, not just, tick, like most people will be like, hey, how's it going? Tick. Like, okay, cool. And I'm just this stagnant here again. You are like, hey, how's it going? Like, what are you doing here, freak? Who are you? And, like, they're just like, who am I? It's like, you can be like go be Miku in the back rooms. Go be Miku in the back rooms. There's one picture of, like, the Final Fantasy cast in the back rooms, and everyone's like, woo! Like, some are drinking water, chilling, but, like, they're happy. They're having fun. Like, they don't care that they're in the back rooms. I basically, like, live in the, like, we all live in the back rooms, you guys. Like, this is all, got a little download. This is all, like, a weird little place, but it's like, this planet is so beautiful. And if you just live in a place that, like, won't let you feel that way, move. Like, get out of where you are so that you can go, like, go find a job somewhere else. Like, anywhere else. That if you're, like, in, like, a box, right? If you are, like, stuck in a box, if you are stuck in, like, a computer circuit, right? With, like, what basically suburbs are, a computer circuit. No matter how, like, what it feels like you're on the Truman Show, basically. It's like a fake neighborhood. Go be in the wilderness where you can find God. Like, you might love your neighbors, they might be cool, but they're in a box too. They're in a computer circuit too. Maybe even tell them about it. Hey, like, guys, you guys should, like, move to Montana or something. Go move to, like, go move to New York even, if anything. Like, New Yorkers are, like, they're unapologetic. They know they're in a jungle. They know they're in the back rooms, but they're having fun. People in the suburbs of, like, the circuitry of most towns, it's like they're just, like, there. And they look outside, there's, like, a bunch of lines of people and neighbors where it's like, it's a literal energy suction cup to never find out who you are, because, like, everyone's around you is, like, it's like a community, but it's like the community is, like, like the community that you would find from, like, Fallout, where it's like was set up by Vault-Tec kind of thing. Weird, huh? Like, go find out who you really are in the forest. Go live in, like, go live in Singapore or something. I don't know. Someone go to Singapore? I've been hearing that for a while. Singapore. For the community. Yeah. Keep being a dragon. Just keep being a dragon, you guys. For the community. We've already gone through these cards. Yeah, we've gone through all these cards. But this one's looking at me. Like, it's like a smirk. God's like, nice one, good video. The algorithm doesn't care. Like, even if I am the spirit in a body right now, right? The algorithm would not care. So, like, please like this video, guys, so I can, like, help people. 44444 on the timer. Please, guys, like, the angels are asking you, please share these videos. For the love of God, share these videos. So, like, for the love of the Holy Spirit and everybody, so that they can understand who they are and like find the joy they were always meant to feel, not what they were programmed to feel. For the love of God, please, from all of the angels, please share this video. Give it a like. Subscribe. Like, it means everything to God, you could say. Like, I wrote it down. Channel God. When I started to like figure out about making this channel. So I need your help. I need your help. Please give this video a like, give it a comment. You know, if you feel like somebody needs it in your life, even if they've like never watched videos like this, send it to them and just like, you know, be like, hey, like God like really wanted me to send you this video, and it might change their whole universe, not just their life. Like all the avatars in them, like who they've always been, like are screaming for them to like watch something like this so they can understand. So if you feel called to send it to somebody, like consider yourself like doing their like all of their past lives a favor, and they may have been like some crazy royalty or something, who are like, they can be like, I will knight you because of this. That's what like mine is saying to me right now. So yeah, cool. This card has been looking at me too. Unique emblem, blazing conductor. Look at this. So it's like, that's like all of us, right? It's like we're the shadow that like is just wielding the light. Is wielding all of the light. So you can have like, you know, like you are like both of these, right? There we go. You're both of these. So you're Yuki, you're the Empress of Blossoms, you are the nothingness in the starlight, you are the singer, you're the swordsman, the one like with a wicked grin for some reason, I don't know why. Like, what part of me is that? I'll find you. Freak. But yeah. Please send this to people, because people need to like be born again, like be resurrected from revelations like this, that so where it's like they see something possible again. Like that one runner where he like ran the time that no one thought they could do, and then everyone started doing it. It's like, that's what is needed, you guys. So it's like, you know, I want to be a like secret community too, right? Like, you know, where it's like, yeah, like this is like, you know, somewhere where not many people know yet. So if like you're here and like you kind of like that it's like tight knit and small, like I appreciate that. Like that's like, we're the core. Like if you found this, like you're the core. Like you are just as much of God flesh and God core as me. So, you know, thanks for being here. But please send this to people for their sake. That is what like God needs from you. Like if you want to, you know, if you want to be like knighted by like your avatars, you know, send this to people, please. Because people need these words. People like, you know, will never have these words unless they hear it. So it's like, even if it gets to somebody that like was never even supposed to hear these words, like good. It's like good. Like I don't, you know, even if it was some evil being. Like here's the thing, the evil people, they can't like stand these words. They just want to be only themselves and never an avatar, like never a tool. You know, they don't want to, how do I say this? It's hard to say because, you know, it's like the reason that someone wouldn't want to send these videos out, someone like wouldn't want to like, you know, put these in the wrong hands, because I totally understand that, you know, it's like I totally get that. But people, the ones that awaken who they like, you know, really are and aren't evil this time around, at the very least, maybe this time around, we stomp everyone that is in this time around that is evil, because like we're in this spiritual time is so strong. So the ones that, you know, are born of love and of like, you could say the literal light, even if you're the shadow, like you're not evil. Even the shadow is not evil. But there's people that just like want to see the world burn. Like here's the thing, they can try all their want. See, they can try all their want. They can try to want as much as they want to like make the world burn, but like it's never gonna happen, because in this time around, the ones that awaken to who they are spiritually and are like, you know, even that they've been evil before and are going to be like a good person in this day and age, it is like literally like those little evil things are like, what is all this mana? Where is it coming from? And they'll be like so mad because they can't attain that power without letting go of trying to be evil. Because like there's maybe like one, how do I say this? Depending on who you've been, like 1 out of like 100 lives, right? Maybe 1 was evil. Maybe like if you're like a really evil person at heart, maybe it was like 50 out of 100. But even if there was 1 of you that was spiritually good and was still like awakened fully, he could reign over all of the other ones, even if it was 99 evil, right? Even if you have an evil every single time, but this time around, you are like the true, even shadow version that can wield the light. You reign over all those shadows. You reign over all those evil entities that used to be you, that like want you to become one of them. Yeah, this just popped out again. Wow. I was shuffling that whole time and this card just popped out again. It's like, you know, sometimes when you have like a really pure and good heart, where it's like even you love battle, right? You love, like war kind of seems like fun, almost like kind of kicks ass maybe. Like that's okay to say, but it's like, how do I say this? You wouldn't say that if you had to go to war. Watching it, cool. Being in it, maybe you've like loved the battle enough to like love the war, but that version of you doesn't need to exist now. That's for sure. So whatever you want to be it like, how do I say this? Be it beautifully, be it pure, even if you're a dragon, even if you're a monster, but make sure it's like the one that can rule them all in terms of your avatar states, right? Like no matter who, even if you've been some like crazy, even if I've been raw, it's like this version of me, I'm gonna make it brighter. Even if I'm this shadow in the light, I'm gonna wield the light and make it very bright. Like maybe I'm like wielding 117 on the percentage. Maybe I'm like wielding the raw version of myself from the past. Pretty cool. But that's like, again, just me having the willingness to even say that out loud. That's being a player. That's being Kirito. It's being the main character. You know, but it's like, you are the main character of your story. Like if you want to be in my story, cool. But, you know, don't let other people make you feel like part of their story, because that's not what God would want you to ever feel like. So whoever is in your life, don't let them be like the deciding factor about everything you do. Confirmation burp. No way. Poo from the so there's a slime. Like literally it's a slime, of course, but it's like, you know, it reminds, so from Ragnar Crimson, this slime that is just this literal like little boy. Just little boy. But that slime can, there's just one part where like this one dragon that was considered a prodigy, like, you know, on the dragon side of things, you could say, that were like fighting the humans, and he's like doing his work with like berries and stuff, and he's like a high class dragon, and he's like, the little boy is just like, he like appears next to him, and he's just like and it just like literally consumes him in like an instant. And it's like, that's what you should be instead of like a solid thing. It's like, think of Rimuru from I Was Reincarnated as a Slime. It's like he was like, you know, how do I say this? He was born again, right? Resurrected. I'm like, my nose is itching right on the nose. It's like born again. Even if you're a slime, like a low-level slime monster, right? He ended up like, you know, having the ability to, it's called Predator, where he can consume literally anything and become that if he wants to. Like, he has the traits of it. He can take the form of it. He can use the powers of it. But it's still Rimuru. It's not like people would be like, no, you're opening yourself up to evil. No, it's like, no, that's like, you know, like trace. Trace. Anything. Trace anything. Use it. Take the form. Take the power. Like My Hero Academia. You know, I can like literally like and like have lightning go up in my spiritual. I'm doing sound effects, right? Like do the sound effects, do the like feel it. Make sure you whatever you need to do to feel it, do it. Add it to your spiritual arsenal because you become this literal. Even if you were born again as just a regular slime, like you are the one that is like sliming everything, like consuming everything. Not to like put it into worldly terms, right? But like literally consuming anything and making it be part of you. And it's like there's a battle as that thing is being consumed of it's either you or me, and like Rimuru has won every one, right? But maybe there's a possibility that like you could be taken over. But if you win and you're still you, and you can use that spiritual energy like from that said character or even entity, it's like you are. It's like a fellowship. Yeah, it's like a fellowship. Like you become this like literal like leader of this fellowship, and like Rimuru like literally like has like a kingdom. He starts a kingdom of like it starts out as just goblins, and then like literal ogres, like technically like demons you could say, that are like whenever they're given a name, they evolve. Like Rimuru names all of them, like passes out for 3 days because of it, and sometimes, but he gets stronger enough to like name like the entire village of. There's like now goblins, ogres, lizardmen, orcs. That like he fought the orc lord. That was this like crazy thing that just wanted to consume everything, but it wasn't of its own will. It was like forced into, just like the synthesis knight. Like someone literally like named him and said, "You're gonna have to be this because I'm naming you." It's like don't let your parents say you have to be this because I named you. Maybe someone needed to hear that. Maybe someone had like deep rooted like again. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're only there because of them. Pop. Like point of perception from like an animate object, it's like I hear those all the time, so point of perception, we'll take it as that. Maybe you heard it in the video. Yeah, like don't let anyone make you feel like you are not the main character of the story. Like you can say the story and like be like Arthur. Be like Arthur from Fire Force or the Demon Slayer Corps. Like they all think they're the main character, and that's good. That's a good thing because they're staying strong. They're staying strong. Don't let anyone try and like clown you, right? Like anyone that tries to clown you, they are the clown. They are literally trying to perform 1-on-1 percentage, trying to perform for you to be angry at them. That's what a clown, like that's what like a true like evil jester is, right? Like clowns are cool. Like I follow some clowns on on media where it's like they're just like cool. They're just like they do cool things and they're fun and they look pretty. But there are like jesters that will literally like make sure they perform well to make you mad. Dude, like they are the real clowns, right? Not the people with like painted faces and like doing fun things. It's like bringing laughs to people. The ones that are the real clowns are the ones trying to bring anger and hate into people, like trying to generate it. It's like it's the most disgusting thing to God. People trying to generate anger and hate. And like I can't say I'm innocent of that. Like sometimes like how do I say this? Before I like awakened. Before I awakened the avatar state, you could say, it was like a really bad thing, of like in my heart at least, right? But when someone would talk to me, like when I would like, how do I say this? I would only ever hurt somebody with my words if they deserved it, right? But before I awakened to this state, it was hard not to feel like I should, like be like angry at them with just in my heart even, right? But when you awaken the avatar state, you realized you've probably been way worse than them in like a past life or something. So what do you do with that info? You can't judge anybody because that person is just like, here's the thing, they may have been like some noble being in a past life that is like very mad at who they are now, but like can't tell them because they haven't awakened. And my sister's like, you are crushing it. Yeah, this is so cool. No wonder. So you can see like the suit, right? It's like very Kaiju number 8 like this, looks like Kafka. But like that's like just me doing this video. That's how I look in like the spiritual realm of like being a soldier that cuts through people's despair and almost like cuts through their ego sometimes, you know, and that's okay. Like if I've hurt anyone's ego, it was for a reason, and you were like meant to feel that way. But like don't think that I'm like would ever like call you anything, would ever judge you in any way, no matter what you've done, who you are. Like I love you. If you are here watching this video, you could have been like a literal like, you know, you could have been Jack the Ripper, and I'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, how you doing? So anyways, this you know, what I'm getting here, like full on. And Yui is like even saluting me right there. Even my like little fairy version of myself that I may have been in like the woods of like some like medieval time, is saluting me, saying that. Like you can, you know, you can speak to anything that has been, right? Because it's just another version of like, you could say someone or even God. Like 1 hour and 43 seconds when I looked at that. So, you know, it's like, you shouldn't, like, remember Christ eating with the sinners and the tax collectors, right? Like willingly. It's like, I would have a conversation with Jack the Ripper full on. Like, hey, what's up? Like, how you doing? I don't really want to hear about, you know, all the things that you've done, but like, want to get like some food or something? I would never judge him. He decided to do those things, and if anything, I'd be like, how'd you not get caught? To be honest, I wouldn't be like, you know, sad for those people, because if anything, that was supposed to happen. 101 on the 101 on the timer. Maybe that was all supposed to happen. So because if they were like in a bad state, right? Like the Avatar state, right? That's what I'm saying. That life, maybe that they needed to go in that time, so that when they wake up in the next life, they can not only do the universe a favor by healing from that pain. Like if they find out and they heal from it, it's like extraordinarily healing to the universe, right? But they needed to continue on their path of the timeline. So like I wouldn't judge Jack the Ripper. I'd just be like, hey, like, you know, I understand a killer's heart, that's for sure. Maybe I've been one too. But I would, you know, if he was like, if you feel like you're Jack the Ripper, if you were Jack the Ripper in a past life, yo, like, welcome to the channel. This keeps popping up. I keep doing it. That's what I'm hearing. Again, you know, unique emblem, like blade, like a conductor of flame, conductor of light, conductor, like, again, me like wielding my raw version, and like there's the raw version of me that's just like, shut up, like go sit by that tree and think about who you are. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. But the Tonki version of me is like, you don't have to do that, like you can just hang out, it's like we can just, you know, be fun too. So whatever you do, it's not about money, it's not about goals, it's not about assets, it's not about kingdoms, it's not about anything. It's about you. It's all about you. And get rid of the limits that society has put on people about saying it's all about them. Because society wants you to think that it's all about society. That's all about the collective of, we all have to do it together. It's like, no, we don't. But it'd be smart to. But here's the thing, if there should be a society, it shouldn't be one of ego. You buy what you need, you go out, you maybe even judge people on your way out. You're like looking at people this, like, oh, that person looks ugly, this and that. And then you go home back into your cave of like, okay, now I can be myself. It should be always going out and being like who you really are, yourself. That's a society. Not a putting on a mask of you walking outside so that, you know, you don't like make anyone uncomfortable, most of all. So you're not like pissing anyone off, but you might make people uncomfortable with who you are. Like Freya. Like Freya, again, we've talked about it before, but this is a girl that is like locked behind the cage in the episode, and they help her, and everyone's like, it's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap. Like everyone's going down the line of like, yep, definitely a trap, definitely a trap, definitely a trap. And she turns out to be this like literal Thor. She turns out to be Thor. Like not just like this like actual, no, it's like she is Thor. Like Freya is Thor. But when she goes outside and becomes Thor, and then gets back inside and becomes Freya again. It's like, we don't have to do that. Like, you know, if you have to be Thor when you're outside, do it, and go back inside and be Thor. 444 on the timer. But either way, be who you really are. so that, you know, one, you're not gonna like, you know, let anyone try and make you think about, am I actually who I really am? Like, should I not be this version of me? Because if you are who you really are and people judge you, you know you're doing something right. Like when mom says, you know, you look homeless with the fit. It's like, oh, perfect. That kind of thing. It's like all our spiritual moms are like, you look so weird, but like, I know that's a style these days, I guess. Okay. Again, I could talk forever. Yeah. Ghost Mourner and Moonlight Chill. I love this card. So pretty. It's so beautiful. Maybe that's what God is saying about like me doing this video. So, gotta, you know. Yeah. Ugh. So you see the reaction I had just looking at this card? Like not even just the look of the guy, like maybe that like the guy doesn't like look very pleasant to you, but that guy is like a betrayer. Like you'll find people like that out there that are just pure betrayers, always have been, always will be, irredeemable, just like spiteful for no reason. Maybe they just needed you to win so that they don't become, they think twice about themselves, you know? People like that are the ones that should be thinking twice about themselves. So if you encounter those people and you have a chance to like really roast one, flame away. Flame away. Like don't feed them, give them something that they have to think about. Don't feed their ego to like fight. Give them something that like literally makes them speechless. And they think about it for the next month until they literally change. Your words could do it. All these cards are so pretty. Someone really needs to go watch Kaiju number 8. Seriously. Someone needs to go watch Kaiju number 8. Fate, Stay, Fake. In that order. Fate, Stay, Fake. You'll see something that might be going on like spiritually. The Holy Grail War. And like everyone is like a god and goddess. Everyone is. Not just like, you know, everybody. Like the Calling game. When the Calling game started, there are overpowered people in that game that are Jujutsu sorcerers, and there are normal humans. They're all part of the Calling game. The Calling game does not judge. And there might be like a spiritual bomb I've been hearing that might be dropped. So it's like, you know, be who you are. Here's the thing. Only the 1/1 percentage, or sorry, 1/17 on percentage. That's just like me, like being extremely lucky if you're hearing this. Like that's what I've always had. Cortana in Halo 3 saying like, you know, I could have chosen anyone, or everyone even, but I could have chosen anyone. But you had something no one else did. Luck. So it's like me putting in the effort, right? But there might be a spiritual bomb that might be dropped, like on this realm, and it's like if you aren't your true self, you won't survive. If you still have like your ego judging, you know, the most simple of things that would never need to be judged, and like you're not your true self yet, like pick up the pace. My nose itching. Right on the nose. Like pick up the pace of who you should be always. But it's like you don't need to go create a kingdom. You have done that before. You need to make a new kingdom. You need to change the world, but you've got to be who you are in this time. Because whatever you do is like very needed. Empress of Blossoms. And look at this. It's like Light Dragon. Whoa, this is a weird thing. So look at this. You're just like Light Dragon carrying this like important like cargo. Like, you know, it looks like Nezuko even. But it's like just carrying it through this blazing inferno. Like, I don't know what that light at the end of the tunnel is, but there's, you know, it looks like there's, he's on the way to that. Oh, you know what? It's like a generator or something. Weird. I love how cards can be so divinely inspired with like, you know, perfect timing and thought. 33 on the timer. My sister's like, yep. Tonki, yep. One more card for the community. I'm going to cut it from the deck. So, like, I don't want to have to stop, but like, you know, this is an hour long already. Like, I should probably do something else. Whoa. I think it was this one. Oh, no. Whoa. Freaky. Ages of Stars and Frost. Armor Master, Blackwing Armor Master. And like Neuro something princess, like a Neuro princess? Like a Neuron prince? I don't know. Cool. Guys, so if you think about energy and magic, right? So if you like how to say this? Sorry to talk so fast. So when you think of magic and anything you can like conjure, like a literal like spinning chi blade or like, you know, a literal like black hole of gravity, you just got to imagine it. It's there. You can't see it, but it's there. It's dangerous to anything spiritual, but it's you know, you can't really see it in this realm. So yeah, 11111 I saw. So energy, right? It's there. Now it's here. Love. Conjuring it. It's there. What's it look like? It's like white, kinda. It's like kind of sparkly. It smells like almost like strawberry shortcake. Why? I don't know. My wife definitely loves strawberry shortcake, I think. I gotta go get some. Anyways, what is it? It sounds like almost like slushy, kinda, like pretty slushy, not like bad slushy. What does it feel like? Well, let's find out. It feels good. Like, I feel that energy. That's how you not only conjure anything, but let it enter you. And again, like, get the fear of those words out of you. Like, seriously. Conjure your own energy, place it in you. Like, let it enter you. Like, willingly, Toji. Let it up, like, leave all the fear behind. Go ahead, Toji. Do what you think is best. Because, like, you know, if there's anything wrong, we'll take care of it. The avatars of all that you've been have said. That, like, you know, once they pass, they're like, oh! Well, help the next me. So it's like, you keep going. No matter who you are. Because, like, you know, listen to everything in here. That one book says, you know, don't listen to your wicked heart. Well, at least part of it. Listen to your heart. It's not wicked. It may have been wicked before, but like, let it purify itself. Cool. I love you guys, and I just want to keep drawing cards, yeah, and having fun, but my wife winking at me, saying, "Blackbird close." Let's all jet off into the sunset together. Sayonara, or, you know, Johnny. Until next time.